There's a gigantic saltwater lake just off the shores of one of our major metropolitan areas in the region, and it's loaded with nearly every species of inshore saltwater game fish. There's one in particular, when you get him on the end of your line, you're in for a long, hard battle. We reveal that fish, that lake in the state of Louisiana coming up because Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
It's time for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hi everybody, so glad you're along with us for this week's episode. This season may break the all-time record on Fox Sports Outdoors for most places visited where I've never been before, and we check another one off the list this week. This obviously is a very busy place. This is the Rigolets Marina. It is located right on the shores of beautiful Lake Pontchartrain. That's right, everybody knows about Lake Pontchartrain, the lake you fly right in over on approach to New Orleans International Airport. I've never fished here, but there are lots of different species of game fish swimming in the water here. We're going to be joined this week by Captain John Falterman. He guides every day on Lake Pontchartrain right out of this marina, and he's been on a great school of black drum. We've never done an entire black drum targeted episode. Hopefully it all begins today. If we can get on that school out there, we'll explain this hard fighting, tasty eating fish to you all in the next 30 minutes. Glad you're with us. While we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports this week from our expert team of insider reporters. Hey, this is going to be a lot of fun. Glad you're along with us. Let's get it all started right now. The FSN Studios with your weekend planner.
The Salooner tables are listing fishing conditions for Saturday as good and Sunday as fair. Peak game fish activity on Saturday is forecast to begin at 3:11 a.m. and 3:32 p.m. Look for the sun to rise at 6:54 and set at 8:06. And we'll be following a full moon on Thursday, so evenings should be bright. Stay with us for freshwater and coastal fishing updates from around the region. Plus, 2015 Classic champion Casey Ashley joins me to answer your Ask the Pro question. We'll be right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. Lose, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Ooh, you got one.
Yes, sir.
Good one. What do we got?
Black drum.
What is it, black drum?
Black drum.
All right. Got us a fish on.
Yes, sir. This is a black drum instead of a red drum. 16-inch minimum is your creel limit. 5 a day on these two. 1 over 27.
All right.
Good, very good eating right there, guys. Just perfect fish to eat.
So they'll eat just as good as a redfish will.
Kind of like a sac-a-lait kind of thing, you know?
When you start talking about crappie now, sac-a-lait, you're talking my language. Well, we've made it out, and we're just on the edge of Lake Pontchartrain, actually between Pontchartrain and Bourne, and fishing some current. Captain John Falterman out here, who's joined us in the boat, and got a fish right off the bat, and he mentioned 40 feet of water, and I will tell you that I've never fished for redfish, trout, and black drum in 40 feet of water, but that's exactly what we're doing. And why are we fishing 40 feet of water? Explain what's going on here.
Just the water is so hot right now. It's 89 degrees, water temperature at the top, and the thing about it is when it gets hot, these fish don't want to stay in that kind of water. They want to get in that cooler water. You can actually feel him. He's cool.
Really?
You know, cool to the touch. So, you know, they just sitting on them ledges, and right now we're anchored back. We backed up to the boat, and we're still in 20 foot of water and dropped the power poles. Your power poles back there.
A lot of current moving through here. You can actually see a little bit of it on the surface, but we got a good start. Lake Pontchartrain, let's get you some fishing and lake reports from where you live.
Hey, I talked the last couple of weeks about how you can go super shallow here in the hottest part of summer and do really well catching bass and crappie. That continues to be the case in many places across the state. That's not unlike what John Cox did recently to win the Forest Wood Cup on Wheeler Lake in Alabama. He went to the very back of creeks. After they had some thunderstorms in the area, he was fishing any type of visible cover he could see with top water, miscellaneous other baits, did really well doing that, and fished that way the entire tournament to win that event, the Forest Wood Cup. You can do that same technique here in Oklahoma. We've had those thunderstorms rolling in and out in many places across the state. If you get one of those that drops 1 to 2 inches of rain on your favorite lake, go to the very back of the creeks, fish any type of visible cover. You're going to catch some good numbers and some really nice largemouth bass here in the state at this particular time. Crappie fishing remains really good in Oklahoma, many places across the state, and they seem to prefer that horizontal presentation. Again, we've talked about the last couple of weeks. Guys are doing really well catching those fish, casting and retrieving those crappie jigs over and around cover. Now, George Tolson had another good outing to Hudson Lake just recently. He was targeting brush piles, 10 to 12 foot of water, throwing his favorite bait, the Bobby Garland Baby Shad Swimmer, Glacier Color, across brush piles, 10 to 12 foot of water, slow retrieve, just back across the top of that brush pile. Caught some really nice slabs doing that. It's hot in Oklahoma. You can catch them shallow, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Hey, before our next break, I'd like to mention that we are fishing today and have been on other episodes of this season out of the newest boat in the Mako Pro Skiff line. This is the all-new Mako Pro Skiff 21. There's been a 17, a 19, and now a 21. It is a big, wide, deep, stable platform to fish out of. We've got it rigged up with the top. It's got all of the accessories, the great bait well, everything you'd want in a skiff type boat. And you can see all the features of this boat in a great little video that my buddy Captain Rob Ferris, who's out of North Carolina, he did a great little video on the entire Pro Skiff line, and you can access that video by going to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, clicking on the how-to section, then the boating section, and you'll see the video from Captain Rob Ferris on the Mako Pro Skiff series, including the brand new Pro Skiff 21 that we're using this season on Fox Sports Outdoors.
There he is.
I got one too.
Double up, baby.
Welcome back, everybody. We are
Bent
still on
over,
Lake
man.
Pontchartrain, and we are bent over with a couple of fish.
I'm gonna step down here and I'll get him. That way you can get yours out too, Barry.
It looks like we're in a school.
They'll be mixed in, the black drum and the reds, all in one here. So
Look how he's got that loose TP1 rod. This is the inshore model of this rod.
that luge ride.
Wow. Golly,
Putting that luge ride to action there.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Double black drum. All right, well, looks like it's a black drum kind of day. Yeah, been a while since I've caught some black drum right there. They're all looks like about the same size here. We're catching them on this is a drop shot rig that you've got rigged up. We've got a 1 ounce weight down here at the end, and it's actually on about a 2 foot leader, and then you've got the hook out here on about an 18-inch leader.
It's actually one piece.
Yeah.
So why 48 inches long.
Why do you use a drop shot rig?
It's
here?
actually allows the bait to be suspended off the bottom, so it can't bury itself in the mud, and so it jumps, it flickers, it does all of its natural things, can't bury itself, and you can actually, you felt that thump, and once you feel that thump, you can kind of feel that shrimp jumping. So without a swivel, overhand knot, just tying straight to your braid or your mono, you're in full contact with them at all times. So
the cool thing also about this is that you can actually fight one of these fish on pretty light tackle. This is not heavy stuff we're using. It's very sporting. A lot of fun to get a good sized big old fish like that on light tackle. And I've only got I think either 8 or 10 pound line on here and horsed in a big old fish like that. Well, we've got a rodeo going here. Lake Pontchartrain, New Orleans, Louisiana, doing some fishing today. Looks like we got some good black drum working. Let's get you some more fishing reports from your local area, right around your neck of the woods.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you once again by the good folks at Bridgeview and Highport Marinas, both located on beautiful Lake Texoma. Now we're going to start with catfish. Lakes Livingston and Richland Chambers have shallow cats 5 feet of water or less. Look around the main lake points that have a little bit of timber and cover on them. Throw your live baits, cut baits, and prepared baits for those catfish. over at Texoma, they're catching big blues on live and cut bait near the dam on the sandy bars that come up to about 15 or 20 feet. You'll find those on your electronics. That's where you'll find the catfish. Schooling bass are showing up on lakes Athens and Palestine. They show up 3 to 5 times an hour through the heat of the day from about 11 o'clock until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll need your water and your sunscreen to get out there and catch these fish. Then use rattle traps, top waters like a clear torpedo, and even jigging spoons and slabs. Even though it's largemouth bass, they'll attack those baits. That's been this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Bridgeview Marina and Highport Marina on beautiful Lake Texoma. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, hot and windy is what the weather forecasters predict for much of the Texas coast. On Sabine, drifting south lake shorelines, mid-lake structure or chasing birds has been most productive. The jetties and short rigs continue to be other options. Now in Galveston Bay, anglers are fishing deeper reefs with croaker or piggy perch. Early topwater bite with Unfair Lures Dog Walker is trying to gain some momentum. The reefs and shorelines in Chocolate Bay have also been good. On days when the wind allows, the surf has been the first choice for anglers out of Matagorda and Port O'Connor. The first gut early with topwater baits and then followed by soft plastics has been the chosen pattern. From Cedar Bayou on southward to Baffin Bay, piggy perch, topwater lures, and smaller soft plastics on 1/8 ounce jig heads have produced along shorelines early and deeper structure later in the morning. Packery Channel is holding good trout as well as redfish on its shorelines. From Port Mansfield to Port Isabel, drifting grass and sand pockets has been best. Both jetties are also producing. This weekend, Saturday's a 3-tide day with 2 high tides and just 1 low. Sunday has a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. Motor Guide Trolling Motors, because accuracy matters. Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made. And Fox Sports Outdoors is driven by Fort Worth Nissan and Lone Star Toyota.
You got a bite?
Yes, sir.
Got him?
Yep.
Wow. Boy, they are in here thick.
Feels like another black drum.
Here we go. Wow.
Another beauty.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are on my very first ever trip to Lake Pontchartrain. You didn't get anywhere near all the fight out of that fish.
Now we got him out pretty quickly.
Well, we're catching them right and left. We're obviously in a school of black drum right here, and they're croaking one right after the next. And
Excellent eating
just
fish.
how the fishing is right here. You just you guys charter every day here, and
Yes, sir.
we'll let this fish go back.
I'm gonna let it go while we're talking.
There are several different things. He's already taken us to 3 or 4 different spots to show us some of the different fishery here. There are all these marshes of marsh grass and little canals and little cuts of all kinds. Then, John, tell us about the bridge fishing here, because there's a lot of fish that get caught off bridges here.
Right, it's the same way we're fishing now, just off the ledges. But with Pontchartrain, we have 2 main channels of water that float a bait in and out of our system out of here. So it just depends on which way it's coming. Either it's flushing it out or bringing it in. We like it to where it's going out. Outgoing tide's pretty much our best tide.
I'll tell you, I want to show you some quick video, real quick. You're looking yesterday, we went out and did a little scouting, just me and my wife who runs the camera, and we came on a school of jackfish and seagulls diving on them, and it was absolutely incredible. These jack crevalle were about 3 feet long each, and they were just blowing up all over the surface, and literally some of them almost running into the side of the boat, just banging up against the boat almost within a couple of 3 feet, and we could just see them everywhere out there, just churning the top of the water. Just a cool place around here. Right now it's time for more fishing and lake reports from where you live.
Hey friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana fishing report. I tell you what, this weather has been crazy. We get rain for a couple of days, we can't even get out in the water. Then it's kind of like today, we're kind of cloudy, overcast, but no wind. Captain Preston and Captain Kevin are out there right now. I got a phone call from them a while ago. They're both catching big redfish at the Gulf jetties. They're having a great time doing that. They caught a few trout this morning. Didn't catch a lot, but they caught a few, about 15, 20 per boat. Then went to the jetties and they're catching big old redfish, having a blast. As far as other areas, we want to mention that offshore, they're catching big fish. Grand Isle, lots of monster tarpon have been caught the last 2 weeks. I mean, big ones, 150, 180. That's big tarpon to be catching right now. Also, Josh Howard in Venice, Louisiana, he's catching lots of huge yellowfin tuna, some blackfin tuna, and some amberjack. So offshore is really hot right now. As far as the freshwater goes, we're getting reports from Caddo and reports from Toledo Bend where lots of bass are being caught in deeper water using plastic worms. On places like Falls River, they're throwing crankbaits and spinnerbaits next to the boat docks. Calcasieu River, the Wednesday, the dog fights, they've been catching good fish. They've been catching them on a variety of little small plastic worms, about a 6-inch, multicolored, black chartreuse, purple with a red tail's been doing really well. Also catch a few old buzzbaits just before dark. I tell you what, fishing's good right now. You need to get out on the water and get you something.
Hey, we're still here on Lake Pontchartrain. Before we head out to our next break, I'd like to roll in a little footage from yesterday. We got here a little early before Captain Falterman could get out here, and so just me and the camera went out for a little while, and we did manage to catch one pretty good flounder. Caught it off a bridge, fishing in the current. Again, looking for current breaks. That's the big deal here. And a little current break coming around a corner, funneling down through a bridge, and was able to catch a pretty nice flounder. Again, evidence that here you can catch redfish, black drum, speckled trout, flounder, and several other species. Literally, you never know what you're likely to catch when one bites.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday at 5:30, or catch the repeat airing Saturday morning at 8. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button, and see lots of how-to and product videos by clicking the how-to button. Also, stay up to date with the latest fishing news, videos, and photos by clicking the follow button on our Twitter feed. And get lots of that same info by clicking the like button on our Facebook page. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And Lowrance Electronics, find, navigate, dominate.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro segment, where viewers get questions answered by top anglers. This week's question comes from Arnold, who asks, do you have any tips for keeping your lure in the strike zone in big wind? For the answer, we found 2015 Bassmaster Classic champion, Casey Ashley.
High wind days, obviously it depends on what you're doing, but I'm a jig fisherman, I throw a jig a lot. Even in windy conditions, you can, especially offshore, where you want to fish with your rod, 9 to 12, that's how you're working your bait. When it's real windy, you need to put it down to the side, because the less line that you have actually out of the water to your rod tip, the less the wind's going to be able to affect it. I try to steer clear of braid in those situations, because braid is like a kite in the wind. So, but even if you are having to use braid, you can still, keep your rod tip a little angled more towards the water, so there's not as much of it for the wind to catch. That's the only tip I can give you for fishing in high wind.
Thanks, Casey. If you have something to ask one of the pros, simply visit us online at foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now it's time to give away a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
Hey everybody, we're back at the boat ramp, got the Mako Pro Skiff 21 loaded, and it's time right now for someone to win a free pair of Costa sunglasses in this week's Costa Catch of the Week contest. He is Brian Parker of Taylor, Texas, showing a 13.5 pound largemouth bass he caught at Lake Austin, Texas. Here are some other big bass that are not winners, but great fish out of Lake Austin nonetheless. David Delgado with a 9.4. Derek Corso with a 9 even, Gene Henderson with a 6.8, and Leon Edgett with a 4.7. If you'd like to be our next winner, you can send us your photo by going to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. You can click on the Costa Catch of the Week box on the right side of the homepage, follow the instructions to enter, and you'll have a great chance. And if you'd like to see all of the great Costa sunglass products, just go back to the front page of our website, click on that Costa logo, and you can see all of the great lens styles, including the 580 glass and polycarbonate lenses in all their different colors and shades, and all of the great frame styles, including the one I was wearing on this week's episode. It is called Prop. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, I want to give some props to the Lowrance HDS 12 Gen 3 units that are installed in our Mako boat. They have saved my neck on many occasions with the Serious Weather module and the package that goes with it that's installed on that system. And we had some big thunderstorms boil up while we were out on Lake Pontchartrain, and we were able to see these coming on the Serious Weather package. Through the HDS system, we were able to zoom in, and you can see some of these thunderstorms approaching right over Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Bourne. We were able to navigate around these storms successfully back to the marina with the help of the Serious Weather package on the Lowrance HDS Gen 3 system. There's lots of confusion in our country right now about social and moral issues, gender identity, Second Amendment rights, reproductive rights, sexual preference. These are dominating our news headlines, our social media. The media likes to sensationalize these subjects, but I've got news for you. These are not the subjects that matter most. They do not define us. In fact, they serve as a distraction from the things that matter most, like being good citizens, being responsible, making good choices, working hard, and leading our own families. The hot buzz topics change from week to week and year to year, but the most important stuff never does. I'm glad you joined us for the fishing trip this week to beautiful Lake Pontchartrain at New Orleans, Louisiana. Our special thanks to Captain John Falterman for jumping aboard the boat and guiding us to a great school of good fighting, great eating black drum. Never caught a bunch of these before and had a great time pulling on them today. If you'd like to contact Captain John and book a trip of your very own, you can do that at the information you see on your screen, and depending on the day you come, you could catch, and look at some of these photos, you could catch big old redfish, you could catch a big old speckled trout, you could catch flounder. There are several inshore saltwater species within easy reach right here at Lake Pontchartrain, and you can do it all by contacting Captain John Falterman. From beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana's Lake Pontchartrain, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.